right, guys, what is going on? Okay, so here's the dealio. Yesterday, a new trailer for Avengers Endgame dropped during the Super Bowl, and it was crazy. So, I am going to watch it again, and then I'm going to do a trailer breakdown and see and try to come up with a theory for the trailer. So, let's get into this.
Some people move on, but not us. Not us.
Oh boy. Okay. That was insane. That was incredible. I like that. It got me hyped. That was pretty cool. Before we get into the breakdown, I want to say two things about this trailer. I love it, and I love how they synced up the audio with like gunshots with Natasha Romanoff, and also with like the helmets coming down with Scott Lang and War Machine. All right, so I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna see if I can pick up on anything. All right, so right off the bat, after the whole flashing sequence of like 1/4 of a second clips of previous movies, you see New York with a bunch of boats that appear to be beached, as if the water like washed out from the tide, right? Like you see there's a bunch of boats that are just washed up on shore, which is pretty crazy. So I assume this movie takes place in New York, from the Statue of Liberty and also from the Citi Field, because that's where the New York Mets play. So we have a partial setting. We'll keep watching. All right, so after you see Citi Field, we see this poster that says, "What do we do, or where do we go now that they're gone?" It appears like an Alcoholics Anonymous poster, you know, like those things where it's like, "Need help, go here," and stuff. But it seems as though it's almost like a support group for people that have lost families in this snap. And also, if you see off into the corner, it appears as if they're this sort of looks like it could either be a church, like a really, really small church, maybe in like the basement. It does appear to be a basement, since there does not seem to be a lot of natural light, just the light coming from the giant like hanging lights. And there's a group of people who appear to be in suits off in a corner sitting in a circle. So this could either be like state officials or U.S. officials. Maybe this is taking place in D.C. All right, so it appears that Captain America is sitting in this basement or wherever he is, in that little support group area. So this might be a little gathering for people dealing with like the trauma of people like of losing loved ones to the snap. Or another thought could be, maybe this is what's left of the Avengers. Maybe this is where they meet, in a church basement where Alcoholics Anonymous is usually hosted or something like that, because it appears as if they're just like chilling out there. And maybe that's where the state officials come in too. Maybe it's like the governors and stuff coming in to talk to them about what to do and what's happening with the Avengers. All right, here's the thing. There was a theory going around that Tony, in the first trailer, the first teaser that dropped, Tony Stark was stranded on a spaceship, and he said that he had like no food and stuff for a few days, or he ran out of food a few days ago and stuff like that. Then there was a theory that the Guardians of the Galaxy would have just been drifting by what was left of them at least. So Rocket Raccoon and Nebula would have just been like flying around and pick up Tony Stark. And it appears as that's what happened. It seems like that because it looks like they're on the Milano. I think that's the name of the Star-Lord's ship. And it seems like they're fixing Iron Man's suit, I think. I think that off of the corner you can see his Nebula like working at the arc reactor. At least that's what I think it is. And then Tony Stark's also welding something, so I assume they're fixing his nanobot suit. And then you have this field. All right, let's see. You have Natasha Romanoff, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner, and Don Cheadle. Oh, that's the actor's name. Rhodey. You also have Rhodey off to the side, and they're all in front of the new Avengers headquarters. This is what I assume is going on. So I assume they're all walking out because they see this giant spaceship landing. So what I think happens is they're on the Milano, right? Nebula, Rocket, Tony Stark, and they're all just flying towards Earth. And then Tony's like, hey, this is where the Avengers headquarters is. And then after explaining, what the Avengers is, and to Rocket and Nebula, and they land at the Avengers headquarters, and these 4 people are all walking out to the field to see this giant spaceship touch down, and where they're reunited with Tony Stark and introduced to Rocket Raccoon and Nebula. And then you also have this quick shot of Rocket walking in to a building, and that building appears to be off the coast somewhere, or I don't know what establishment this is. I think it's a shed. It seems to be a shed. The entryway seems a little too small to be a house. I mean, it could be a house, but it appears like they're at a bay, and it's like a place where people go fishing because you can see lobster traps in the background, beached lobster traps. So this could either be like a place where someone stores all their fishing supplies, or maybe it's just an abandoned shack. But I assume Rocket Raccoon has some supplies, or Tony Stark has some supplies in here. Maybe this is a weapons closet or something like a backup suit. Then you get this shot of... Okay, so here's the thing. Then you get this shot of Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. Thing is, if you look, there's this quick frame, well, a few frames actually, where you see her behind a bunch of windows. And by those bunch of windows is water. So, and then it also cuts to this other shot where she's shooting at targets. But if you look off to the left, if you look in the corner, there's this little row of boats. Or not boats, but it looks like she's on a giant boat. Like one of those ones where like the airplanes land and stuff. One of those things, those things that rose up into the air. Because if you remember, those were able to be used as actual normal boats. But then they could also fly up in the sky. That's my thought. And then you get to this shot of Ant-Man and War Machine in Avengers headquarters, because if you remember, in Infinity War, when Natasha and Captain America come back, they like barge into a little hologram meeting, and I'm pretty sure the desk in the background of that is the same desk in the background of this, which would make sense because it looks like the same room. Actually, in the previous trailer, Scott Lang rolls up in his van to Avengers headquarters, and this is, I guess, after he rolls up and he's invited inside. And so I thought that was cool, but it looks like they're ready to fight. Thor over here looking mighty angry. And it appears as if he's still in Wakanda. Because the shot of him walking towards this opening reveals this vast, like, lush green mountain range. I don't really know what he's exiting. I don't really know what he's exiting, but you can tell it's Wakanda. Then you have Hawkeye. You got Hawkeye, who we actually didn't see last movie because we assume he was back home protecting his family after the events of Civil War. And it appears... So there's just a bunch of stuff in the background, and there's this red glow on him, almost as if it was like the same red glow of the neon signs in like Tokyo or Chinatown or wherever he was when he like, did the cool assassin thing where he took the sword and like rubbed it through his arm to like clean it off. But it also looks like he was looking up towards something. So maybe after Tony Stark touches down at the Avengers headquarters, everyone suits up. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Ant-Man and War Machine were suiting up to hop on the Milano to get everyone that was left. So that included Clint and everyone else that had super abilities. So they could be like traveling around the world picking up everyone else that's left. Then you get this shot of Captain America, who is also suiting up and putting on a shield. And it's just a sick shot. There's really nothing to comment here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah. All right, so I was somewhat right. In this last shot, you, leading the charge, you got... Yeah. Okay, so here you go. So in order from front to back, who appears in this, you have Captain America, Ant-Man, Black Widow, Rocket Raccoon, Tony Stark, and War Machine. Now, this confirms what I was saying earlier about the ship landing down at Avengers Towers, or at the Avengers headquarters, because it would make sense. So if you remember, that shot was at night, maybe like very, very early morning, when it's still dark out. Maybe that's when the ship touches down. Tony Stark and Rocket Raccoon get off. Nebula stays on the ship to make sure that no one steals it, or just to keep it warm, Who knows? Spaceships might take a while to start up. They might come in. Tony Stark would be like, hey, these guys have the firepower to kill Thanos. Hop on my spaceship. I just met these guys. You can trust them. They're good guys. They fought with us in Wakanda. The whole rundown introduces Rocket Raccoon, Nebula. And then everyone just suits up, so everyone has their greetings. So everyone suits up, which would be Captain America, Black Widow, Scott Lang, as he probably just arrived the day before, and War Machine. And in this shot, it's very early morning, or not very early, but like the sun's just rising up. So it could be like they met, they introduced, they ate. Probably Tony Stark probably needs to eat. He probably hasn't eaten like a week or something. I mean, he probably had like those weird space routes on the ship. But then they all just hop on the ship and probably go around, find anyone else. Probably find Clint. And yeah. Then it just cuts the title card. So, recap. What happens? Tony Stark's stranded in space. Gets picked up by Guardians of the Galaxy. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Natasha is training in the shooting range, either on a ship or in Avengers headquarters. Captain America is in a meeting with people, either dealing with the pain and turmoil of losing loved ones, or in a meeting with government officials. Meanwhile, Scott Lang rolls up and is like, hey, yo, what's good? We fought in a Civil War, also tried to... Well, I actually didn't do anything in Infinity War, but I got this cool, crazy, awesome technology. Maybe this can help you guys out. In defeating Thanos, I really just want to get my girlfriend and my soon-to-be father-in-law back from being dusted, Anyway, then Nebula, Rocket Raccoon, and Tony Stark touch down at Avengers headquarters. They give them the rundown, tell them what's going on, tell them they're giving each other plans, and then they all suit up, hop on a ship, and fly away. Then they go get Clint, which is why he was looking up, because after killing the guy, after being like the assassin, after wiping off his blade from the blood, he looks up, sees this giant spaceship. He's like, whoa, what is this? I didn't know aliens actually existed. But then Tony Stark, Captain America, and Natasha all hop off, and they're like, yo, Clint, get on. We need you to fight this giant purple dude. And then along the way, after that, they all go back to Wakanda, pick up Thor, because... why not? And then I assume they also get Takashi. Nope, not Takashi. T'Challa's sister, Shuri, on the ship. I'm pretty sure she didn't get dusted. And then they all fly off and try to defeat Thanos somehow. That's my theory. That's what I've gathered here so far. And that's it. I just want to make a quick little video. Thanks for watching if you did watch. Leave a like if you liked this. Comment down below and tell me if you like this kind of stuff, if I should do more trailer breakdowns, more theories, stuff like that. Because if you do, I have a few theories about the TV show The Office, the US version, the one that's on Netflix, and about how Kevin might be an undercover cop. Anyway, subscribe to join the Gulag Gang. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and that's all for now. Thanks for watching.